Hi, so this is Ippei Numata. Thank you for your time. Before starting my presentation, have many of you have heard of Hitachi? Maybe, I hope it's famous here in Singapore as well, because in Japan it's quite kind of big and famous company. But still, maybe only a few of you can imagine the Hitachi's business, Hitachi's product right now. Because we used to be really famous for the TV, cell phone, and air conditioning. So we stopped manufacturing these products. And a few years ago, like in Japan, we had a really famous TV show called Fushigi Hakken, the Find of Wonder. It's a kind of Hitachi only sponsoring company, TV show. It has 40 years kind of history, but stopped offering the sponsorship. And my parents was really worried about me. Hey, Ippei, are you really okay to keep working there? But it was okay. So we marked the kind of highest revenue last year in this kind of 5 years. We just shifted the kind of business from manufacturing a product to the service, especially the digital service in the various kind of industries. So today I'd like to talk about the building sustainability improvement powered by data-driven finance. Oh, yes. So let me just start quickly about the kind of market trend and opportunity here in Singapore and ASEAN as well. Well, as maybe all of you know, the importance of building sector in the decarbonization context. So buildings-related sectors contribute about 40% of the global carbon emissions, making this sector crucial for tackling climate change. And in Singapore, the government has set an ambitious 80-80-80 goal for 2030 to significantly green both new and existing buildings. However, the current progress isn't enough to meet this target. And to address this, for example, the new mandatory energy improvement regulation, so-called MEI regime, has started last year. So it requires low-efficient buildings to improve the energy efficiencies or face hefty penalties. However, it's pretty hard to plan and secure the budget and plan the roadmap towards that goal of the target set by the government. In short, the building sector is a key, and Singapore is now tightening regulations to drive meaningful change. And also, when we talk about the green transition, we need to think about the finance as well. Of course, because this is the oil and fuel to accelerate the change. So from this perspective, Singapore sees itself as a financial hub for ASEAN carbon markets. The left side shows the total amount of sustainability-related loans, which has steadily increased in these 7 successive years and reached 48 billion Singapore dollars. And this loan lowers the interest rate by evaluating the green transition, the kind of rate the building achieved. Also, the Singapore government generated a new blended finance. The first goal was 510 million US dollar, combining public and private investments. This will be utilized to help ASEAN infrastructure decarbonization and green transition. In short, the money flows in this field, and there are chances, business opportunities in ASEAN and Singapore. And when we look at the ASEAN countries that green status, they have committed to net zero targets by 2050 to 2065 as well. And they are enhancing climate targets strategies following Singapore rule and funds. Each country have started the discussion or introduced carbon tax or carbon credit trading scheme. Among them, Singapore is positioning the highest carbon tax. And Singapore is leading the Article 6 cooperation to enable the cross-border carbon credit transfer. For example, it has signed the implementation agreements with Thailand and Vietnam, which enable Singapore companies to offset the part of their carbon tax liabilities by using carbon credit generated in these countries. So now, in this field, what kind of contributions Hitachi can do? So Hitachi has developed the SLEB Smart Hub through the collaboration with BCA. In this management platform, we have annually reported buildings data in Singapore, such as green GFA, type of the buildings, energy efficiency, and installed facilities. So we signed the MOU with BCA last year to utilize a database to enhance the green transition of buildings inside and outside Singapore. So based on this database, we have developed a diverse kind of analytics tools for it. Well, based on the data, we have developed services mainly for the enhancing green finance. So what's green finance? It is for helping for the building to transition, the green transition. So, but still, banks face challenges in identifying optimal clients and formulating the effective green investment plans, despite the market pressure to increase the share of green finance. Leveraging green building database and agentic AI, we have a range of services for bank, covering from finding customers, analyzing impact and risk, and to monitoring loans. However, of course, these services are useful and beneficial for building owners as well. So this is a basic analysis tool to enable building owners check their improvement points compared with similar type of building performance in Singapore. For example, this model building A, its EUI, the energy efficiency, and the renewable energy usage marks D, the lowest rank. It means it's located at kind of lowest 25% compared to the similar types of buildings in Singapore. So that means owner can think about the improvement on these points. Also, it's semi-automatically plan the green transition according to their preference, like best ROI or best performance. In this tool, users can easily understand the goal and necessary amount of money and the payback period. So it helps quite a lot the building owners to plan accordingly, according to the governmental rules as well. And last year, we have developed one of the easiest well-modeled carbon calculation tool in the world. This can be done in only 20 minutes. I know the JTC also has the embodied carbon calculation tool as well, but this one is more for the easiest version. So this tool has kind of recommended combination of green measures in the construction and demolition phase. For example, so simply it's by choosing the drop-down list, not by inputting a lot of detailed info, user can easily get the estimated amount of embodied carbon of this project and our buildings. It will be broken down by stages, groups, and scopes 1 to 3. So it will be initial when embodied carbon calculation becomes more mandatory in the near future for everyone to get a certification and finance. So this is the final slide. So finally, I'd like to briefly mention the energy management activity in Singapore. So we also have the management services enhancing the AI technology and the knowledge in this field. However, we have focused on this field in Singapore, focused on the data center energy management, especially in Singapore. So this is a kind of trial project started with SIT, Singapore Institute of Technology. So this is a trial to develop the AI optimization tool for server room first, and then data center optimization. So it will eliminate unnecessary power conversions to cut losses and cost as well. So this to maximize the potential of on-site renewable energy, like solar PV. So this is all of our today's material. So I'm happy to thank you so much for your time.
Thank you, Numata-san. Arigatou gozaimasu from Hitachi. Thank you.